York's infamous Blue Note era comes to Mars Hill on Saturday, August 22nd for a special one-night-only concert at Mars Landing Arts Center. Civil Disobedience is a project from New York bassist David Ambrosio, rekindling jazz born from the politically conscious underground of 19th City's New York City. You'll hear music from progressive composers such as Bobby Hutcherson, Jackie McLean, Stanley Cowell, Howard Land, and more. Before the concert, we'll screen an illuminating short documentary about the project. Seating is intimate and limited. That's Saturday, August 22nd. For tickets and details, go to marslandingartscenter.com. Wake up, Asheville. I'm Matt Peiken, and this is your week-ending local newscast for Friday, August 7th. 11th District Republicans are scrambling to replace Congressman Chuck Edwards after he ended his re-election bid, and political analysts say the party faces steep challenges. Catawba College professor Michael Bitzer says the next candidate must quickly build a district-wide operation and raise money fast, calling it, quote, an uphill challenge for any Republican stepping into this candidacy. Western Carolina University professor Chris Cooper notes picking a sitting lawmaker could trigger other vacancies. Former district GOP chair Michelle Woodhouse says party leaders now have to, quote, push hard to meet the August 20th deadline. Read more in the Citizen Times. More than 100 people gathered in Hudson for a prayer vigil after a July 26 immigration raid at Wilson Creek in Pisgah National Forest. ICE agents working with the U.S. Forest Service and the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office arrested 13 people. Siembra, North Carolina says it may be the first such partnership in North Carolina. ICE says many arrested had criminal records, but the Department of Homeland Security hasn't released names. Organizers say some detainees had pending residency or asylum cases and are now being held in Georgia. Read more at NC Local. The Salvation Army will pause its longtime homeless shelter program at Asheville Center of Hope starting November 1st after a grant covering its $1.2 million annual operating costs expired. Leaders stress, though, that the shelter isn't closing. The facility houses about 65 people and serves men, women, veterans, and families. Staff are working to move residents into permanent housing and say they don't want anyone on the streets. The building will continue operating as a winter Code Purple shelter with expanded capacity while leaders raise local funds to reopen next May. You can read more in the Mountain Express. Buncombe County leaders are weighing expanded housing aid as applications surge for the newly broadened Transitional Assistance Program. By early August, more than 1,100 applications had come in, already exceeding last year's total, with renters making up about 75%. Officials say they are, quote, receiving a ton of applications. The county may raise its rental assistance cap from $1,500 to $2,500 and extend help to mortgage payments to prevent foreclosure. Lawmakers are also considering new financial rules for affordable housing developers and adding a full-time social worker at Pack Memorial Library. Read more at 828 News Now. And a proposal to build 524 apartments in the Swannanoa River floodplain has cleared its first step with Asheville's Technical Review Committee. The $75 million Britt Drive development would include 753 parking spaces and set aside 22 acres as open space. Part of the 36-acre site sits in a federally mapped high-risk flood zone. City staff say floodplain remapping is underway after Helene. Developers say they're, quote, very aware of all the flood issues and plan to elevate units above a parking deck. The project now heads to further review and public comment. Read more at Blue Ridge Public Radio. If you care about local music, theater, visual art, and all the arts and culture of our region, you'll want to tune into See Here. It's my new channel where I produce short documentary videos, longer podcast conversations, and fresh news across Western North Carolina's arts and culture scene. There's really nothing like it in this region. Subscribe to our newsletter for free and catch up on what you've missed at SeeHereWNC.com.